What if the storms devastating our cities, the record-breaking heat waves, and the bizarre weather patterns sweeping the nation aren't natural at all? For decades, NASA has been preparing to weaponize the weather against the people. In a little-known PowerPoint presentation, NASA's chief scientist Dennis Bushnell outlined a chilling vision for 2025. A year, he said, would be marked by engineered disasters, biological warfare, and psychological manipulation, all designed to destabilize the United States from within. According to these plans, weather isn't just a force of nature, it's a silent weapon to punish the population, crash the economy, and advance a tightly coordinated globalist agenda. And here's the kicker. These so-called future events, they're not in the future anymore. In 2025 alone, multiple Gates-funded geoengineering projects have been exposed, actively executing the very plans outlined in NASA's own documents. The script is no longer a warning, it's a playbook already in motion. Stay tuned, because this is crucial information, and time is running out. Before we dive in, a quick word about our sponsor VP.net, the next generation of private browsing. VP.net is the only VPN designed with true zero-logging architecture. That means, unlike other VPNs, it literally can't track you. So even if governments or bad actors come knocking, there's nothing to hand over. It's that simple. Your data stays yours, period. According to the mainstream media, weather manipulation is just a conspiracy theory. Chemtrails don't exist. And when governments do admit to spraying the skies, we're told it's all perfectly harmless, done for the good of humanity, and nothing could possibly go wrong. Trust the science, they say. Ignore your eyes, move along. Unfortunately for legacy media, we now have all the evidence needed to expose their role as mouthpieces for the establishment. They can't explain why there are 50-year-old US patents to spray the atmosphere with barium, or why the government has spent decades secretly developing weather warfare technology, hidden behind classified programs and deniable operations.
In 1993, the FAA started warning pilots to stay away from a certain section of airspace over Alaska. The U.S. government was experimenting with a new breed of high-altitude electronic technology that was significantly altering the Alaskan airspace. The experiments continue to this day, and critics are warning that this project could have global effects that will destroy our planet. In Alaska, the rugged, pristine wilderness is timeless, most of it remaining just as it has for thousands of years. In the midst of all this natural beauty, just outside the small town of Gakona, stands an enormous and seemingly harmless antenna farm. It is a $100 million Air Force project known as HARP, and critics of the soon-to-be completed facility charge it just may turn out to be the ultimate doomsday machine.
It's got all the marks of Dr. Strangelove on it.
Still think it's all just a conspiracy theory? Then take a look at Project Popeye, a declassified US military operation during the Vietnam War that used cloud seeding to extend monsoon seasons and flood enemy supply routes. That's right, weather manipulation as a weapon of war. It happened, it worked, and it was kept secret for years. If they were doing this in the 1960s, what do you think they're capable of now?
So let me get this straight. You still think weather manipulation is just some wild conspiracy theory? Even though they have admitted cloud seeding is real, they have filed patent after patent on it, published the studies on it, and even aired it on the evening news.
There are currently 42 cloud seeding projects across the American West, like this one in Utah, where they take planes like this with flares attached. They fly right into the storm and send microscopic particles into the cloud. Particles that act like magnets for water droplets, bonding together until they are heavy enough to fall to the ground as rain or snow.
Because while you're busy keeping up with the headlines and wondering what is in the Epstein files, Arkansas is flooding, Texas is flooding, Oklahoma is flooding, and New Mexico is flooding, all within days of each other, and it is chalked up to climate change. Now, I'm not saying any of this is connected. I mean, it's definitely just climate change, right? I'm just saying cloud seeding is real and the military has an open history of weather warfare. Check out Project Popeye. And while towns are getting swallowed by storms that make no sense, receiving so much rain that houses are literally floating away, you still think weather modification is just a conspiracy?
The official narrative is crumbling because more and more people are waking up and the truth can no longer be denied. You can only gaslight the public for so long before they start trusting their own eyes and experiences.
Y'all, I live in one of the most boring towns in Pennsylvania. Chester County is the county that I'm in, and they had to rescue people from flooding yesterday. That doesn't happen here. Like every once in a while we'll have like a torrential downpour that floods the roads a little bit, but not to the point where like I'm seeing people having to get rescued. We don't live by big bodies of water. We have like a creek. What the hell is going on? This is not normal. And if you're not questioning cloud seeding at this point, I truly think there's no hope.
As Texas reels from catastrophic floods, the ghouls are already circling, cashing in while investigators uncover what really triggered the chaos. 2 cloud seeding companies sprayed chemicals over the exact region that saw more rainfall in hours than Niagara Falls dumps in days. The first, Rainmaker, funded by Peter Thiel. Its 25-year-old CEO, Augustus Dorico, a Clinton-connected wonder kid, insists it's all just a coincidence, that the very areas his plane sprayed were hit with record-breaking floods days later. The second, WeatherMod Inc., bankrolled by none other than Bill Gates. Leaked memos reveal that WeatherMod deployed unauthorized silver iodide dispersal to aggressively seed clouds, deliberately supercharging storms over Texas. Critics say this gate-funded operation isn't just about saving the planet, it's about testing climate manipulation on a mass scale, no matter the human cost. And while communities drown and children go missing, the political class scrambles to cover it up. Senator Ted Cruz, who was vacationing in Europe at the time, returned only to immediately shut down calls for an official investigation.
And not to get into the weeds on, people are asking lots of questions, and where should we start the investigation after?
To the best of my knowledge, there is zero evidence of anything related to anything like weather modification.
What are they hiding? And why are people like Ted Cruz protecting the globalists from investigation? While the likes of Cruz enjoy international vacations, the real people are suffering. Last week, every corner of the globe was hit by historic unnatural disasters, from flash floods to freak heat waves, all pointing to coordinated geoengineering and weather manipulation. This isn't some rogue experiment, it's not localized. This is a coordinated global operation. And according to NASA's own documents, it's nothing short of a war on the people. A decades-long plan to weaponize the weather and destabilize entire nations from within. We break down the details right after this important message from our sponsor. The global elite's fiat scam spits on God's principles of honest weights and measures. Alan Armstrong's book, The Bible and Gold, exposes everything. Gold is not just metal, it's divine protection against their rotten system. From Genesis to Revelation, Scripture calls gold good, while central banks print trillions from thin air, deliberately sabotaging your wealth. Genesis Gold Group's faith-based pros cut through the deception, swapping your fragile retirement for physical gold, tangible biblical money that fights devaluation and protects your family's future. Why chain your future to their monetary lies when God's standard waits? Visit tpvgoldbible.com for your free copy of the Bible and Gold and to schedule a consultation today. That's tpvgoldbible.com. Honest money for uncertain times. The globalist elites are hell-bent on dismantling national sovereignty to clear the path for a new world order, a centralised one-world government under their control. And the biggest obstacle standing in their way? The United States. That's why America has been in their crosshairs for decades, targeted through engineered natural disasters, economic sabotage, and now weaponized weather. The plan? To destabilize, demoralize, and ultimately break the nation's will, with 2025 marked as the tipping point. Our PowerPoint presentation by Chief NASA Scientist Dennis Bushnell at the Langley Center in July 2001 detailed a plan to wage war on humanity and radically depopulate the planet in the year 2025. According to the NASA presentation, the year 2025 will feature terrorist attacks in the United States, biological attacks, weather manipulation, and an EMP or electromagnetic pulse. Critical infrastructure will be destroyed as part of the plan to bring civilization to its knees, and American citizens will be tortured on primetime news. Deborah Taveras has the details about this disturbing NASA presentation.
It was on the NASA website, and it was a document that actually is a PowerPoint presentation by Dennis Bushnell, the chief NASA scientist at the Langley Center. And it was presented in 2001, July of 2001, just a few months before 9/11. And what brought my attention to it and immediately rang some uncomfortable realizations was when we first came across it. It says on the website, Future Strategic Issues, Future Warfare circa 2025. And as I decided to just flip through it quickly to see what it was about, I was a little stunned on page 4. It said, the presentation is based in all cases upon existing data, trends, analysis technologies, no pixie dust. And the entire premise of the document, or the PowerPoint, is about robots, cyborgs, and humans.